This is the solution for second problem. That is, here we have to calculate the expected return and standard deviation of stocks P and Q. So first P probability is given and the return from P stock and return from Q stock is given. First we have to find out the expected return of P stock. So here the values I have written which were given in the problem, that is the probability values and the return values of P. So whenever the returns are given of one particular stock and probability is given, you have to multiply them. That is, we are going to get it through the multiplication, that is 0.1 into 10, that is equals to 1, and 0.2 into 20, that is equals to 4, 0.4 into 30, that is equals to 12. So likewise you have to product it. You have to multiply the probability with the returns of a particular stock. So then we have to find out RP minus R bar P, because in the formula RP expected return is nothing but you have to take R bar. R bar is nothing but it is here sigma. So that is R bar is nothing but it is summation of R. Summation of R. So summation R is nothing but R bar. So for that particular purpose, you have to find out the summation of R with the P stock. Stock P values have to be found out. So RP minus R bar P. So here R bar P we have to summate it. So it is returns. These are probabilities. We have found out the probabilities of returns here. So it will be the summation of summation or R bar P is equals to, it will be the value is 28 here. So this value should be deducted from returns from stock P. So for that you have to do 10 minus, what is R bar P? It is 28. That is equals to minus 18. So here I'll give the for 20 RP is 20, RP is 20 minus R bar P is 28. So that is equals to minus 8. Next, same way you have to do it for all the values. So 30 minus 28, it is 2. Then 35 minus 28, that is equals to 7. Last 40 minus 28, that is equals to 12. So this is the RP minus R bar P. So with this we are going to find out the variance. So we have to find out expected return as well as standard deviation. So here P into RP minus R bar P the whole square. So here I'll put R bar P the whole square. So whatever values you have got here, whatever values RP minus R bar P values, you have got this values, no? So these has to be squared. So that is nothing but here minus 18 P into RP minus R bar P the whole square. So what is the P value here? 0.1. So 0.1 into minus 18 the whole square. Same way again, probability 0.2 into minus 8 the whole square. So likewise you have to do it for other values. Here the summation of these variance will be the standard deviation, whatever you have the values here. So that will be, square is nothing but variance, rp minus r bar p the whole square is variance. So standard deviation, by this we can find out the standard deviation. Standard deviation is nothing but root of variance. So for that particular purpose, here do the summation. The value you are going to get is 71. So we have find out the expected return here. Expected return is equals to 28%. Expected return for stock P is equals to 28, and the standard deviation. So here we have found out the variance. So variance is standard deviation is nothing but it is standard deviation is equals to root of variance. So root of variance is standard deviation. So what is the value we got? It is 71, that is root of 71. So root of 71 will be, value will be 8.43 approximate value. So here r bar p, that is expected return, is 28. R bar p we have found out, that is expected return is 28, and standard deviation is equals to root of variance, that is equals to this variance 71 we have got, that is root of 71 is 8.43. This is for stock P. So the values we have got it is for stock P. Next, similar for stock Q also you have to do the same way, that is probability is given, and returns from Q, whatever values are given that you have to take. These were already given in the problem, probability and return from stock Q. So to find out the values, that is expected returns from stock Q and the standard deviation, you have to multiply it, that is probability and return from Q. So 0.1 into 20, that is equals to 2. So 0.2 into 30, that is equals to 6. 0.4 into 40, 16. 0.2 into 50, 10. 0.1 into 70, that is equals to 7. Like this. Then RQ minus R bar Q. So what is R bar Q here? You have to summate. That is, you have to add all the values of returns from stock Q. So for that you have to add these values. So it will be 9. So that is 41, right? So summation of RQ, that is summation is represented by R bar. R bar Q, R bar Q is equals to 41. So next, RQ minus R bar Q. So RQ is whatever values you have returns from stock Q, which were given in the problem, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70. So these values should be deducted from summation, that is R bar Q. So that is 20 minus, what is summation R bar Q is 41. So 20 minus 41, that is equals to minus 21. Next 30 individual stocks, these are individually we are doing. So 30 minus again summation of R bar Q, that is 41, that is minus 11. So here I have just shown it, you have to calculate it, that is 30 minus, you have to make a note that it is 30 minus 41. So each and every time you have to deduct it from the total value of the stock Q. So again 40 minus 41, that is minus 1. 50 minus 41, that is equals to 9. And 70 minus 41, that is equals to 21. Likewise, then square it. Whatever values you have got, that you have to square it with by multiplying the values of probability. So 0.1 into minus 21. Next 0.2 into minus 11. 11 the whole square. Sorry, here you have to write the square, no? Yes, 1 second. Here write the values. This is square. 0.1 into minus 21 the whole square. 0.4 into minus 1 the whole square. 0.1 into 29 the whole square. So after doing these calculations, so you are going to get it as the total. You check once. I have directly written here. I am writing here because of time factor. I can't make it the video will be long again. It will take a long time. So directly I am writing the answer here. It is 169. You do the calculations and check it. So here expected return is 41%. That is R bar Q we got is R bar Q is equals to 41, and SD is standard deviation. Standard deviation is equals to root of variance. So that is equals to root of variance. What we have got is 169. That is equals to root of 169 is 13. So like this we have calculated for the first step whatever they have given. Calculate the expected return and standard deviation of each of the following stocks P and Q. So first part we have completed, that is calculating the expected return and standard deviation separately for stocks P and Q. So next coming to the next part, that is the question, it is given that also calculate the expected return and standard deviation of portfolio in which 50% of the funds are invested in P and the balance in Q. So for that you have to take the standard deviation is 50% of the funds invested in P and 50% in Q. That you have to keep in mind. So expected return for stocks P and Q we have calculated already in the previous slides. So here I have written the formula. Expected return is equals to standard x bar P into R bar P plus x bar Q into R bar Q. So that is equals to x bar P. What is the value of x bar P? We have that is standard deviation in the problem they have given it as 50%. So 50% means you have to take it as, you can take it as 0.5. 0.5 into R bar P we have already calculated. So that is the value we got after summating the values. We have got 28 plus 0.5, again it is 50%, no, 50-50. So 0.5 and 0.5 into r bar q we have calculated, that is 41. So by doing the calculations we are going to get it as 34.5. Clear? So this is about expected returns of the two stocks when the standard deviation is 50%. That is 50% invested in stock P and the balance in Q means 50% in Q. Next, expected risk calculation. The formula we know that it is x1 square into standard deviation square 1 square plus x2 square into sigma 2 square plus 2 into x1 into x2 into sigma 1 sigma 2 r1 2 under square root. So here for this to substitute the values here, first you have to find out the r. R is nothing but here it is coefficient of correlation. So to find out the coefficient, we are not given any values of r here, so we have to find out. So covariance of xy is equals to p into rp minus r bar p into rq minus r bar q. This is the formula for finding out the covariance. So once you find out the covariance, then you are going to get the r value. So because r is equals to, we have the formula as covariance of xy upon standard deviation x and standard deviation y. As this is for two stocks, you have to keep that in mind. The variables may be anything, just you have to make it for first and second stocks, 1 and 2 stock, x or y or 1 and 2, you can write any name of the variable. So here to find out r, we have the formula as covariance xy is equals to standard deviation xy x and standard deviation y. So for that, so to substitute the values, we have to find out covariance first of all, because covariance of the two stocks is not given, information is not given. So covariance of xy is equals to P of rp minus r bar p into rq minus r bar q. So just substitute the values. What are the probabilities given? So those values, that is 0.1 into, already we have calculated this, rp minus r bar p and rq minus r bar q, just substituting the values here. So you are going to get separately for each and every stock, you are going to get the values here, covariance of two stocks. So total is, it is 102. So now by substituting the values here of covariance and standard deviation x and standard deviation y, we can find out r, that is coefficient of correlation. So covariance of xy is equals to, what is the value we got? It is 102 upon standard deviation x is 8.43 and for stock y it is, and for second stock it is 13. So already we have done it, this you have to refer the first one, that is what we have calculated, like expected return and standard deviation. So those values we are putting here. So 102 by 8.43 into 13, that is equals to, it comes to 0.93. So this is R value. So now we have found out the R value. You can easily substitute the values here for finding the expected return. So this is the calculation for expected risk. So expected return already we have done. No, this is for expected risk, that is standard deviation P is equals to x1 square into standard deviation 1 square plus for both the stocks x2 square standard deviation. So this is the formula. Based on the formula, so x1 square is nothing but it is the funds invested. So 50% invested in P and 50% in Q. That is given in the question. So for that purpose, we are taking it as 0.5 and 0.5. 0.5 and 0.5 for both the stocks. So funds invested are 50% and 50%. So 0.5 the whole square into 8.43 the whole square. So this already we have done the calculation that we are substituting here. Plus 0.5 the whole square into 13 whole square plus 2 into 2 of the funds. That is 50% and 50%. Then standard deviation 1, standard deviation 2 into R value we have found out in the previous slide. So that is what is the value we got is 0.93. So by substituting all the values and doing the calculations, we are going to get the value as 10.53. So expected risk is 10.53. Here we have got it. So return we have got is 34.5 and the risk is 10.53. So based on this we can decide that risk is less and the returns are more. So the investor can invest in this type of securities. This type of selection of portfolio is good. That is, by taking this combination of portfolios, he can invest as the risk is less and returns are more. Next, coming to the third question in the same problem, third part, that is expected return and risk you have to find when the funds invested are 40% and 60% in P stock and 60% in Q stock. So formula same, Rp is equals to x bar x into R bar x plus x bar y into R bar y. So that is funds invested here are 40% and 60%. So for that particular purpose here, for first stock it is 40% and for second stock it is 60%. That is 0.40 into 28. This values already we have calculated in the beginning, 28. The same values we are substituting, that's all. Plus 0.60 into R bar y, that is for second stock it is 41. So by calculating you are going to get it as 35.8%. Then expected risk. So using the formula, again the same values you have to substitute. Here you have found out the covariance and coefficient of correlation. So directly substituting the values. The funds invested x1 and x2, that is P stock and Q stock, are 0.40 and 0.60. That is 40% and 60%. So 0.40 the whole square into standard deviation 8.43 the whole square plus 0.60 the whole square into 13 whole square plus 2 into 0.40 into 0.60 into standard deviation 1, standard deviation 2, same 8.43 into 13 into R value is 0.93. So by calculating you are going to get it as 11.01%. So here also you can compare that returns or 35.8% and the risk value is 11.01%. So hope you have understood this problem.